right. Good morning. Welcome back, my friends. How we doing? Welcome back. Welcome back. Another day. Another day, another dollar. My hair's all. Didn't brush my hair. Welcome back. Good morning. Howdy. Buenos dias. Get the old interactive brokers opened up with the face. That's how you know it's real. Let's get this coin today. What a beautiful day yesterday, man. What a beautiful day yesterday. And overall, what a beautiful market it has been. The upside moves are just very clean. Continue to be crazy clean. Structural, just previous highs, new lows, previous highs, new lows. It's been very, very nice. So hopefully you guys caught a little bit of that yesterday. Some nice AMD pullback yesterday. Apple pullback. Tesla, beautiful upside over that 260. It has been some nice stuff. Definitely. Yesterday, again, some very strong demand holds on the NASDAQ ES at our levels. We had our 17,045, 17,065 zone on NASDAQ, which held perfectly. We had our 4820 on the ES, which held perfectly. So the levels definitely stayed true. Tesla. Yes, sir, J-Rocks. Yeah, I'm going to make another video about that tonight. A little update on my Tesla feelings. You guys know my last video here on YouTube was about Tesla upside. And it's really setting up, man. It's looking really good. So very happy with that analysis still. Very happy with my belief in it and conviction. And, that got me nicely paid yesterday. So I'll go through it, right? I'll go through it again, but I would recommend going to watch maybe that last video if you're not familiar with it. That last video on YouTube was all about why I believe Tesla could see more upside. So I recommend just sort of watching that analysis. It may help you sort of understand the mindset. All right. Wait a few more minutes for some people to step in, and we will get started. Swinging Spy 477 calls. Nice. Terrence. Yeah, NVIDIA 496, right? Yeah, 496. That should be something to watch today. That's something I got on my watch. I agree with that, Chef. All right. Let's pull up the economic calendar because that's where we start. I don't think we have much. I also will pull up the bonds just to make sure. I think we had a 5-year bond yesterday. Let me just make sure that we make sure we have all the bonds as well. We get all prepared for today. So here we go. 8:05 yet? I'll wait another 20 seconds for some more to step in. If you guys could, as you step in, press that like button. Help me continue to grow the channel. It's gonna be all about this coming year. I'm gonna do a lot of things to help spark some growth on the channel, and I hope you guys are excited for it. Have some pretty cool plans. I also have, if you guys are looking for a discount on TradeZella and I have partnered. So I'll be getting discounts for you guys that want to try out TradeZilla. I think it's a great platform. I use it every day. We'll be able to get discounts on that, and then also, which is something that's very cool about TradeZilla, for any of you guys in the community, you can actually upload your trades to it, and you can give me access to look at them. So I can, if I need to review trades, I could just use the TradeZilla platform, and I could see exactly where you entered, where you exited. I could see some of the notes that you wrote down. It could be like a sort of collaborative experience on TradeZilla, which is pretty badass. I like that a lot. That's a pretty cool feature. So some cool stuff coming. T-shirts are coming. It's just between now and end of year, man, it's like a period of like, I don't want to do anything. I want to like spark it all at the beginning of the year. I'm also moving out of this apartment. So it's a little bit of a strange time for me to be, sort of going heavy in some new ventures. So I'm sort of just, closing out this year. And then next year, it's going to be full steam ahead. All right, let's do it. Let's get started. Here we go. So you guys can see right here, this is our economic calendar of the day. Yesterday, we had the Richmond Manufacturing Index, did nothing, and I don't really care about that. So today, Thursday, it's already Thursday, man, that's crazy. Thursday, unemployment claims, that could be something to watch this morning at 8:30. Pending home sales at 10 o'clock. Natural gas storage at 10:30. Crude oil inventories at 11. And then tomorrow, 9:45. That is what we'll close the week on. So 9:45 Chicago PMI. That's tomorrow morning. But today, unemployment at 8:30. That will be our watch in about 23 minutes. All right. So that's what we got there. Let me pull up the bonds. Bond auctions. Let's see if we got anything to pay attention to here. Just make sure we have everything covered. So here's this. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this. Today is December 28th. And so today we have the 7-year note. So yesterday we had the 5-year note. Today we have the 7-year note. So just make sure you're aware of that. 7-year note. At 1 o'clock today, 1 p.m. Eastern, you got the 7-year note. And it could cause a little bit of volatility. It caused a little bit of volatility yesterday. It could have caused that volatility again today. So just be aware of that. December 28th, that's today, 7-year note. That's the big one, okay? You also have the 4-week bill, 8-week bill. They're there as well. But this is the big one. The one that's in bold, the 7-year note, that's the more important one. Pay attention to that today. All right, 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. Eastern, it will release and possibly cause some volatility. All right. With that said, let's get started. Press that like button if you guys could as you step in. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here. And yesterday was pretty damn clean. So, coming into the day yesterday, let me go ahead and zoom in on this chart for us. And actually, let me adjust this over here because this is not formatted right. Okay, move that over there. Boom. All right, so very clear, right? Yesterday, we came into the day and we were talking about this entire zone, right? This was our zone yesterday, 17,045 to 17,065. This was the level that we talked about that could maintain the market higher. The previous highs that could turn into demand if the market, right, previous highs, all right here, that could turn into demand if the market is trading above it. And that is exactly what we did, right? That is exactly what we did. So if we go down to the 15-minute chart, we can see pretty much the entire day, right? We just dropped, held, overall held that demand beautifully. Now, as we continued to hold that demand, right, you just have to understand intraday, I'm not going to short into this demand, right? There's just no reason. So every single time you dropped into it, right, I'm sure you had plenty of people chasing shorts, right? and then getting squeezed out of the position every time. And then people obviously were chasing longs into supply, chasing longs into supply, chasing longs into supply. For the most part, getting stopped out in that as well. And that is pretty much just a channel trade the entire day, right? And so channel trades require the opposite of your natural reaction. The natural human tendency, or at least, not a trader's tendency, but just a human stepping into the market is, oh my God, big downside, short it here, you lost. Oh my God, big upside, long it here, you lost. Oh my God, it's big downside, I'm shorting here, you lost. And obviously the last one of the day was at close, so let's just ignore that one. But if you continue to chase extremes, right, it's just going to get you caught up. So overall, you longed here, right, at the demand, and you shorted at the supply, and you did pretty damn well yesterday. There was plenty of long opportunities on individual stocks as well, which looked actually a lot cleaner than this, right? This was pretty messy yesterday on the futures, but there was some really nice opportunities on some individual stocks, which we will get into today. Now, so that's that, right? Our demand held. Once again, another stair step higher, another stair step to heaven. The stairway to heaven. It continues, the stair stepper. Today, right? What are you looking for? You should be able to answer this. You should be able to answer this. We are looking for this. We are looking for downside into demand into the previous highs, right? We are looking for the market to drop into our little pocket right there. That's where we want it. We want it down in that pocket. We want it down in that 17,000. Let's call it 17,110. Right around there, right? At these previous highs here. Anywhere between there and let's call it these highs from yesterday. Around this 17,123, 17,124, right? We are looking for the market to break down into our demand level, start to maintain here, and then look to see if there is a long off this level. That is the watch of the day for me, right? The numbers are all on the screen. I do not know what that means, my friend. We are looking for that to set up today, right? That is our thing to watch. So let's watch to see, does our previous high from yesterday hold as a demand today, right? That's what we're watching for today, or at least that's what I'm watching for today. If we break under that, right, if we break under and turn this back into a rejection level today, right, that is where you will get the downside continuation back towards our demand from yesterday. Okay? So this is my main watch. My main watch of the day is what happens at yesterday's highs, right? That's the big stuff. What is the reaction at previous day highs? 17,124, 17,120, all within that area, right? That is where my decisions will be made. There's a little bit of pre-market support here, right? You can see this little 17,140 area is attempting to hold on as well, right? That could be an aggressive attempt if you see that hold on, right? That could be a very aggressive attempt around that 17,140. I like this area much better, right? I like the pullbacks to the previous highs much better as a potential long spot, on the market, all right? So 17,110, 17,125, that's my little zone I'm watching. You could watch this pre-market low around 17,140. And then obviously, if you do get a breakdown into these lows, I'm absolutely going to be watching to see what happens down there around 17,065 to 45. Okay? Very clear. All right? Very clear. Yesterday's price action was choppy, right? It was choppy, but yesterday's price action did not do anything out of the ordinary if you are understanding of these levels, right? Yesterday's price action was a little choppy, but if you just longed off demand, right, and shorted at supply, which we had marked out perfectly from the morning, right, that's it. I mean, yes, it's not a great move. It's very choppy, very sideways. There was some individual stocks, which we'll talk about, which moved very nicely. But the levels stayed true, right? And that's really what I care about. Were the levels true? Were the levels respected? They were absolutely respected, right? The levels absolutely were respected yesterday. The demand held very, very well at that 17,065 to 45. So that keeps me interested in more upside. And so today we look to see if we get that pullback and that long opportunity once again at the previous highs. Okay. QQQ. 410, man. That was it. What a beautiful 410 hold. Absolutely beautiful 410 hold. This 410 hold was what kept me bullish on the day. Right? This was really my deciding factor. If you guys were part of the group, you know that. As long as we were above 410, right, I was looking for those longs. So 410, 410, 410, and once again, 410 held really, really well yesterday on the market. So you can see right here, we had that rejection around that 411.50. That was our Tuesday high, which we were watching as rejections. That created the rejections yesterday. But every attempt to the downside, right, every attempt to the downside was held on at that 4010. That 4010, right? That thing just held like a champ. So, again, right, this is another stair step higher. We continue to stair step higher, and that continues to push this market higher. So I think now, after seeing how important this 410 level was, right, we can actually start to have clarity in downside as well, right? Because we need to be thinking of both sides. This actually makes it quite clear where you should look for downside, right? Because let's take, for example, if this QQQ breaks under 410 in the future, right? Whenever that may happen, if we start to see rejections at 410 in the future, right? That could be our very clear signal for potential downside, right? That could be a very clear signal. And so that's really it, right? Now we actually have even more clarity on the market to both sides. We have very clear clarity of why it's holding up above the 410 for now, right? We can see that. But we also will know whenever this time comes, it will, right? Of course it will, at some point in the future. If we start to see that 410 reject, right? That could be really interesting. So keep an eye on that. 410, right? 410 on the QQQ. I'm just saying, right? Yeah, the market hasn't gone down, but you got to know, right? It's the market. If you just to let you guys know, I mean, you know this, but just as a little piece of advice, right? The market, you need to take quick reactions. There's no doubt about it. You need to be on your game. You need to make reactions. You need to make quick decisions. And if you can engrave in your mind and be prepared for both situations, you probably will increase your profitability. So if I see, now I know, right? I'm going to engrave in my head. If I see that QQQ under 410, I'm going to be thinking downside. And that could present a really nice short opportunity for me. Now, if you're not prepared for that and you're like, oh, I don't really know where we're trading at, what's this 410 level, and I have no idea what I'm doing, right? You're not gonna, you're not gonna perform at the same level as someone that's prepared for it. So, yes, the market has been going straight up. I'm loving it, right? It's great upside, great trades, but we also want to make sure we're not blindsided, man. The market can blindside you in 10 seconds. The market blindsided a lot of people here, right? Don't be blindsided. Make sure you're aware of both sides. If we do break under that 410 at any point in the future, make sure you're ready for it, man, because that could be a really nice downside trade. That would be a rejection back under these highs, right? That could be a nice trade, so make sure you're aware of it. But for today, we look for pullbacks to 411.50, right? Back to these highs, and we look for pullbacks back to 410. These are your longs, right? Right here, 411.50, 410, right? We're looking for pullbacks to 411.50. We're looking for pullbacks to 410, right? Those would be the two spots that I would look for potential long entries today, okay? If you break under 410, things get a little bit more interesting. If you break under 410, things get a little bit more interesting, all right? ES. So, yesterday, we talked about that 48.30 to 48.20 10-point channel, and that is pretty much what the ES did all damn day, man. I mean, this is why. So, all right, there's a lifelong discussion, a trading discussion about if you should just trade the SPY or if you should trade individual stocks. And yesterday is a point in the column for trading individual stocks, which is what I typically do. I would say 75-80% of the time I am trading individual stocks. I'm very rare, maybe once or twice a week, I'll get into some kind of a SPY or QQQ call or put or overall play if I really like a certain level that's holding on. Like, for example, longing off QQQ 410 yesterday, that would have been something I would have been interested in. Yesterday, this, guys, if you're a newer trader, okay, and people have made this argument before, which I partially agree with. If you are a newer trader and you are trading the SPY yesterday in this, guys, that is that is one of the hardest situations you can put yourself through, okay? I don't care what anyone says. That is not easy to trade in, right? If you are trading the SPY in this price action yesterday, I bet you there are a lot of people who went on full tilt mode yesterday trying to trade in this channel, right? It's not easy when the market, the SPY, the Qs, the ES, the futures, right, starts to do this type of channeling sideways action. Okay, that's not easy stuff. That's when I totally avoid it. But, right, there was some very nice moves on individual stocks, right? Tesla, nice move, right? Nice 260 hold yesterday. AMD, beautiful demand hold yesterday. Apple, another, that was one we took. Apple demand hold, very nice move. Meta, I think Meta was okay. It was a decent hold of that 357, decent little demand hold there. I mean, pretty sideways on Meta. Coinbase, I mean, sexy move on Coinbase. So I don't know, right? It's every day it's a different situation. There's no singular right answer to this question of whether you should trade SPY or QQQ rather than individual stocks. But I would just try your best to figure out or try to find out early morning, right? If you know that there's a tight channel on the SPY and the QQQ, or if there's a tight channel on the SPY and the ES futures, maybe that's a day you want to avoid it, right? Maybe that's a day where you say, all right, I'm going to look for some individual setups today. I don't really love the action that I'm seeing on the SPY. A little bit too choppy for me. So, I'm not here to answer that question for you, but I think SPY, guys, think about it logically, okay? SPY and the QQQ, the ES, it's the most highly traded stock. It has the most algorithms on it, okay? If there was a count of algorithmic trading, I would say the highest algorithmic trading stock is the SPY, right? And so you are trading against the big boys, right? You are with the big boys if you're trading SPY, if you're trading 0 DTE SPY contracts like a madman. That's not easy stuff, man. That's big leagues. So I don't really get involved in that, but that's just my opinion. So it is what it is. All right, let's continue. So right here, guys, you saw the ES yesterday. We talked about that 48.20, man, and that thing held on like a beast, right? That thing held on like a beast. 48.20, it just maintained the entire day. Every drop into 48.20, regardless of how aggressive it was, regardless of how emotional it was, right? The levels stayed true, right? Regardless of how emotional the downside was, the levels stayed true, right? And this, I can guarantee you, stopped out or got a lot of people got faked out on this little drop under 48.20, right? And so this is the danger, again, of those fake out moves, especially on a choppy day like yesterday. You got to be careful. You got to try to avoid that, emotional chase after a big downside move. So 48.20, demand held, right? Beautiful hold. 48.30, that was our supply level. That rejected all day yesterday. I think you guys can see what's happening right now, okay? I think you guys can see what's happening right now. 48.30, 48.30, 48.30. What is happening in the pre-market, okay? It's very clear. You have rejections. rejections, and all day yesterday rejections at 48.30. This morning, you are pretty much perfectly turning 48.30 into a demand. If the ES is above 48.30 today, you have no business shorting this market. You have zero business shorting the market if the ES is above 48.30. This is the same concept as the ES above 48.20 yesterday. All right? It's above the highs, it's above previous highs, and it's turning it into demand. It's above previous highs, and it's turning it into demand. All right? So there is no business shorting this market if the ES is above 48.30. Watch out for that. If that holds, you are going to push higher. That is a break and hold over the previous highs. That's that Wednesday high. That's that big, aggressive, emotional drop, that rug pull, so to say, that we saw on Wednesday. The high of that day was 48.30, and you are holding right above it today. That is a very clear level to be trading off of today. 48.30, if you're above it, if you're holding it, if you're seeing those demands step in, right, you're looking for that upside push. If you're under it, then you trade back within yesterday's channel, right? If you're back under 48.30 today, you're trading within yesterday's channel between 48.20 and 48.30, and you could see another repeat of yesterday's price action. Okay? Let's go to the SPY. We got the unemployment in about 4 minutes. We'll see if that changes anything up for us. Here's the SPY. You guys can see right here, we have previous highs, and a perfect SPY hold yesterday at 475. So you can see we turned the previous highs, the previous consolidation over here, previous little consolidation there, into a perfect demand yesterday at 475. And we turned the Tuesday highs into perfect rejections yesterday as well, trading within this channel. Whoops. How do I erase that without deleting everything? Undo. Boom. Undo. Trading within that channel all day. Supply highs, demand lows all day. Now, what's happening today? What's happening today? Previous highs, break, and possible retest, hold for potential more upside. 476.50. You are watching the previous day highs for potential demand. 476.50. If you hold above that level today, I would be looking for longs off that level. If you break under that level, you're coming back down to that 475. Okay? If you break under that 476.50, if you do something like this where you crack through that previous demand or that previous supply, if you turn it back into rejections, you're coming back down to that 475. Okay? Very clean. 476.50, 475 on the SPY. Russell. Yeah, a little bit of drama at that 2090. That was our level from yesterday, that 2090 supply. What would I look for today on the Russell? I would look for a pullback to 2065. I would look for a pullback to like this 2065, 2070 area. All in here is where I would look for a pullback. If you're looking to trade the Russell, I would look for this pullback right here. Look for that pullback towards that 2070, 2065, maybe even down to 2060, right? And look to see if this pullback results in a hold of these previous highs right here. That's what I would look for if you're looking to trade the Russell today. 2090 is a pretty important supply above. We talked about this level yesterday. Let me go right here. You guys can see in the daily chart. If you look at this daily chart, let me delete some of these drawings everywhere. If you look at this daily chart, look to the left, right? Look to the left of your screen, right here. That's 2090. That's a big daily high at 2090. And that is sort of where you're seeing a little bit of reactions here today, right? A little bit of reactions, a little bit of rejections at that 2090 supply. So what I'd be looking for is a pullback to these highs and to this high right here. All right? 2060, 2065, 2070, that whole zone. I'd probably call it this whole zone. It's about a 10-point range that I would monitor. All in there. All right? Anywhere from these highs and this consolidation is where I'd be looking for that potential pullback and maintain on the Russell. All right. All right, let's go to Tesla. So Tesla's my baby right now, man, and I'm really happy with the analysis I did and sort of the continuation that we're seeing here. What a beautiful move this has been. We talked about this 4-hour break and retest. This is a thing of beauty. Oh, we got jobless claims. So before we get into Tesla, let's see the market reaction here. Okay, looks like for now, a little bit of upside. Initial jobless claims, 218 versus 210. It's pretty much in line, man. It's just not going to be enough to do anything crazy here, I don't think. So we can see as long, it's all about the levels, man. As long as we're over 48.30, this stays true. So 48.30 on the ES, 48.30. That's it. 48.30 still holding, post-jobless. And cute, and the NASDAQ still pushing higher, post-jobless claims. So as long as you're above this 48.30, that is catalyst for more upside. That's what you're watching here. Let me know if we drop 48.30, guys. I'll go back to the futures if we do. All right. So, first of all, 4-hour chart on Tesla. It's a thing of beauty. It is a thing of beauty. It is a previous high into demand lows right there, right? Break and retest of 246. That's first, right? That's just sexy. Weekly chart. We've talked about this weekly chart. Let me go and put this to that. All right, that's my other personal drawing set. Yeah, I mean, you can't fight with that, right? This was our weekly chart analysis, and you can see we had that weekly channel. We had that demand here, or the supply there that turned into demand. We had that break and retest bull flag, and that is surely the continuation that we're seeing here, right? We can see that weekly chart is continuing. If we go to the daily chart, right here, here's the daily chart on Tesla. We can see we broke out of the channel on the daily. We turned the previous highs here, the previous channel right here, into demand around that 246. We turned that channel high into a demand right there. Break, hold, 246, and continuation. So I think this is in full-out breakout mode, right? That's in my opinion. Tesla, in my opinion, is in breakout mode. And I will continue to have risk on Tesla during this time. And this was what we talked about last week, right? This was what the video was about last week. So if we go back to our levels here today, some levels to be paying attention to in the short term, right? There are some levels to be paying attention to in the short term. First of all, let's take a moment of silence for the 260 break and retest. Let's just take a moment of silence for the 260 break and retest. Yeah, what a beautiful one, right? Here in the chat yesterday, this was last night around 3:49. That was 10 minutes before close. This is the spot to take Tesla long if you want to risk 258, 260 demand. That was right around here. I will hold off on adding today. Happy when I win, and I'm still holding a contract. If you have interest in Tesla upside, I'd be eyeing this 258, 260 pullback. That is a beauty. And that is just a perfect hold of the previous 260 supply highs. 260 supply highs, break, pullback, hold, and look at the continuation today. So that 260 level is our new level, right? We have turned that 260 level into demand. This has been something we've been waiting for about a week now, and it's happened. So 260, very strong. Watch that 260 on pullbacks. 258, that's another pullback level that I would be watching. 258, if Tesla does come back to that 258 at any point in the future, another pullback level I'm watching. So 260, 258 are two spots that I'd love to long Tesla off of. Now in the short term, right, we are watching the previous day highs, right? That is something we are absolutely watching today, right here. 263, we are watching to see if there is a demand hold at 263 today. If Tesla pulls back to this 263 and starts to hold, this could be another long entry for more upside. So I will absolutely be watching that 263 today, the previous day highs. Does this previous high turn into demand? And if so, right, can I find a long entry off here for that push back into 265? 265 is our next supply. That's a level that needs to be paid attention to. If we break over 265 and hold above it, we are going to 270. Okay? So, relatively clear levels here on Tesla. 265 supply. You had previous supply here yesterday that you are looking to see if it holds as a demand. If Tesla turns yesterday's highs into support, you look for that long. If Tesla breaks back under yesterday's highs, you are looking for that pullback to 260 for your entry back at 260. So there's only a few spots that I really want to trade Tesla off today, right? I want to trade Tesla off 263. I want to trade Tesla off 260, or I want to trade Tesla above 265. Those are my levels to watch. 265, 263, and 260. Those are the three trades that I would be looking to take today. All right? Loving this upside. About a $5,000 day yesterday, so probably one of my biggest days in a while. I will review that entire trade. I will review everything in tonight's video. I encourage you to watch it. All right. It's 8:35. We got 1,500 people here. If you guys could take 1 second and press that like button, that would be much appreciated. 1 second, press that like button. I'm going to take a sip of water here, and we'll move on. Cheers. Evian. Should I blur the background? Evian. All right. Let's continue. NVIDIA. No, I would not short into 260. No. You can, but I wouldn't. I'm not going to short. I don't have interest. Not when the market looks the way it is, man. I'm not going to go against that market trend. Not yet. Maybe things start to really slip, but we'll see. All right. NVIDIA. So, 496, right? 496, right here. 496, 496, and you're trying to hold above that 496 today. This is also, let me zoom out a little bit. Go to the 30-minute. 496, 496, 496, 496, 496. All right? If NVIDIA holds above 496 today and you start to see demand there, that is absolutely a long entry. Okay? So watch 496 today. If NVIDIA turns 496 into a demand today, if you start to see a pullback to that level and you start to see NVIDIA hold that level, right? That could be a very nice hold level. Okay? So watch that. That's really it, man, because that's a really clean level. If NVIDIA breaks under it, obviously we're looking for downside back to that 493, but this is a channel high, right? This was your channel. This was your previous channel right there, and you are breaking above channel high. So this is now, right, how you want it to look. Now you want to see it do this, right? Now you're in the next channel. You were previously in this channel. Now you're in the next channel. You were here. This was where you were. And now you want to see it do this, right? You're looking for that stair step higher. So if NVIDIA turns 496 into demand, you are in the next channel higher. You look for that long off that 496, and you look to see if that can continue. All right? That's it. 496. That's what I'm watching. AMD. Oh, man. What a sexy one, guys. If you're part of the group, this might have been trade of the day yesterday. So yesterday, we took I think we made about 45, 50% on these. What a beautiful long on AMD yesterday. Back at the wick high from back here on, this is back on December 19th. December 19th, we had a wick high around 143, 143.20. We talked about this in the live stream yesterday. We talked about looking for demand holds at that level, and that is exactly what AMD did. So you got your morning pullback into that demand, right? Into that previous wick high. You did a break. You did a retest of that previous high. And man, was that a pretty one. So congratulations on this trade, guys. This was, I would say this was fire. I agree, Steven. So you can see even on this 30-minute chart, you can see those wicks that were stepping up at that level. eventually causing that upside move, right? Very bullish wicks, shadows on the bottom side of those channels, or bottom side of those candles, right? And you can see that hold at the demand. Very nice. So if we go into the 15-minute, we get a little bit more detail here. Now, right, really, we want to pull back here, guys. And I know some of you are not patient enough to wait for that, but that is what you want to wait for, right? You want to wait for a pullback to this 145 level. This is where you would want to be long AMD on a pullback. That's the best spot, right? That's the best spot to be potentially entering longs, or down at that 143 again, right? That's the best spot for potentially entering longs. I would not enter longs at 147. Okay, 147 is a very major daily chart supply level. This was our target yesterday on AMD, right? This was our target. We talked about this in the live stream as well, if you remember that. I know some maybe not, but that was a very key level right here. If we go to the daily chart, we talked about this 147 right here. We talked about that potential rejection point around that 147. That is something that I would be careful of today, okay? So right here on the 30-minute chart, actually, no, let's go back to 15-minute. You can see we're right at that 147 daily chart supply this morning, right? We are sitting right there. So if you want a long AMD without a pullback, you are going to need a very solid break and retest hold above that 147 for a potential long. That's a little extended that's a little bit rich for my blood, all right? That's a little bit extended. I would prefer the pullback to that 145 and then look long there. And then look for that long back into that 147 and potentially higher. So that's what I did yesterday, right? Look at the previous holds. Look at the previous types of moves, guys. This is the moves. These are the moves. I've been trading for 10 years. I don't know how Jet knows how long I've been trading. It's going on 11 now, actually. I hope you realize what the best opportunities are in a uptrending market, right? This is something to pay attention to. What is the best opportunity in an uptrending market? It are pullbacks. Pullbacks are the best opportunities in uptrending markets. And so yesterday, look at what AMD did, right? All morning, it sold off into demand, and that was your opportunity, right? So there's no reason to wake up every morning if the market's gapping higher every morning. There's no reason to be feeling FOMO, right? Because you know that the pullbacks will come in. It will, right? They will come in. I know you don't think they will, and you're scared that you're going to miss it, but it will happen. And you need to be on your A game when that does come in, right? That should be where your focus is. Your focus should not be, where am I going to chase AMD today to the upside? Where am I going to chase Tesla to the upside today? Where do I have to chase this thing at? It should be, okay, where's my pullback level? Where am I looking for that potential new long entry? Let me stay patient. Let me look for that entry and let me nail it, because it happens. And yesterday's an example of that. You can see AMD pulled back to demand and held. So today, you're looking for the same damn thing. Pull back on AMD to the previous highs here, 145. Look for that long. If it doesn't come in, it doesn't come in. And so be it. All right. Let's continue. Let's go Coinbase. Because Coinbase is a fantastic example of what I just talked about. Coinbase is a fantastic example of what I just talked about. So, Coinbase has been on a beautiful stair-stepping move higher. I mean, this thing has been rock solid. Just beautiful stair steps, beautiful levels. And what are you doing today? What are you doing today? So for all the boys, for all the Coinbase boys that had to chase Coinbase at the highs yesterday, right? For everyone that said, oh my God, I need to be entering coin at highs because I missed it. I need to enter here, right? Just think about that, right? They're down today. They're probably pretty nicely down today. Now today, for everyone that waited for their pullbacks, right? This is a very interesting opportunity today, right? Look at this pullback in the pre-market and look at where it's trying to hold. Coinbase is attempting to hold the previous highs at 179, right? And look at that little hold that's happening in the pre-market here. This could be a fantastic buying opportunity on Coinbase for more upside. This is the same exact thing that happened right here, right? Look at this. This was our previous high around that 169 level. We had an upside move. We had sort of a extension, which resulted in a pullback to demand. That pullback to demand turned into a beautiful demand hold and long entry. Today, you had an extension, and you are pulling back to the previous highs, which can result in a beautiful long entry. So today, what am I looking for? I'm looking for Coinbase to maintain 179, right? And I'm looking to see if it does. Is there a demand hold there? Can I potentially long it off that level? If so, I like that entry. If you break under 179, you are coming back down to the 173 demand. Okay? Very nice there, very clean. I would be watching that level today on Coinbase. Nice pullback for people looking for new entries. Microsoft. I am still interested in this channel, man, and this sort of daily chart is still very interesting. It looks like Microsoft is attempting to hold this 20 SMA. It's around this 373 level. 20 SMA continues to hold. And you're getting a push again this morning back into the 376 supply. So what we need to really see here is a break and hold, like a solid hold. I tried to long it on a short-term hold on Tuesday of this week, and I lost. So I am not going to just trade a short-term 5-minute hold above 376 today. I need like a full day hold. I need pretty much the entire day to just do something like this, to trust this, right? I want to see 10, 30, an hour, 2 hours of just sitting above 376. And if I don't get that, then I'll probably miss it if it just squeezes straight up. But if I can get a really solid hold above this 376 supply high, that is where I would look to try to trade Microsoft. So something I'm absolutely watching. And the reason why I'm bullish on this, once again, let me make sure everyone understands the longer term analysis. The reason why I stay bullish on Microsoft here is because Microsoft has held above the previous all-time high on the daily chart for about an entire month, right? Microsoft has maintained above the 366 demand for about an entire month. That was the previous all-time high. That is very strong. Break, retest, and just maintaining above that high, right? Above this high right here. So very interested in that, but it needs to break 376. Let's go Meta, because Meta's been on a tear, and Meta is honestly pretty nice stair stepper as well, right? Meta seems like it's been on the stair stepper. You guys can see right here. You have previous highs turning into lows, general lows, right? A little bit sloppy there. Yesterday was a little bit sloppy as well, right? You can see right here. Previous highs, 357, right? 357, previous double top high into demand and continuation. So today, I would be looking for the hold above the previous double top highs right here. I'd be looking to see, does Meta hold above 359? If Meta holds above 359, I would be looking for that potential long entry. All right? 359, Meta, look to see if that holds above that level. That's my big watch there on Meta. Interesting. That's something to watch. I mean, you can see what I'm looking at here, can't you? That's something to watch. That's something to watch right there. I can't give too much details on Netflix because Netflix is a beast. But is that a smiley face? That's something to watch, right? You got to break a hold above that 485. Previous highs, right here. Previous highs. You're breaking above it. You're coming back down to it, and it looks like you're starting to maintain. I would look for that Netflix hold around that 485, man. That's real interesting. All right. I think that's let's go to Apple. We gotta finish off with Apple. Apple, yesterday, a little bit of drama early morning, right? A little bit of drama early morning because of the downside. And I'm actually gonna go over this trade in detail yesterday. Because if you guys were part of the community, if you were listening to me trade Apple yesterday, there was a lot of intra-trade management. I guess that's what you would call it. Intra-trade, I guess intra-trade, like while it was in the trade, there was a lot of talking through and managing of this trade because of how aggressive the downside came in, and it did go past my stop loss. Now, there was a very important reason why I held Apple, and that is something I will go over in tonight's video. It has to do with the QQQ, holding 410 demand. At times, which I highly recommend, at times I will not exit a trade at my stop loss if the market, the overall market, is maintaining a bullish structure. Okay, so yesterday, a brief overview here, I did not exit the Apple long because the QQQ, NASDAQ, ES, everything was maintaining bullish structure, right? As long as the NASDAQ market maintained upside momentum, maintained structure to the upside, I did not want to stop out of Apple, right? And that was how I managed that trade. It's a little bit, that's something I like to do because, in my opinion, in theory, right, in the theory of trading, if the NASDAQ pushes to the upside, Apple should move with it, in theory, right? And so the NASDAQ was holding demand, and I felt like there was still an opportunity to push to the upside off that demand. So I let Apple move a little bit past my stop loss because of that theory. And it worked out beautifully, right? That was a very strong hold. And I possibly also, right, on top of that theory, I also think I had the wrong stop loss level, right? Because I was giving it, I think, not enough room. I had to give Apple to this wick low on the 4-hour chart. And that was exactly the level that held on, right? That 4-hour wick low was really the level I needed to give Apple for that downside move. So I was buying into that downside on Apple yesterday, and it paid off beautifully, and I continue to hold into today. I think this could just be, and I think this could very well be just a start of a larger term, right? Retest, hold, and more upside, right? If this Apple maintains this 191, 192, right? If Apple maintains these previous highs, we talked about this on the stream yesterday. We talked about the sniffing salts, the smelling salts at 192 area. And I think that this is possibly a little bit of a larger term move here that I'm going to let develop. So I'm going to hold on to that. All right, guys, that's all I got. Looks like a little bit less people in the group today. I hope that's because of, hopefully that's because of the holidays. Hopefully we get back to our, 1,800, 2,000 people. Hopefully we didn't lose 500 people here. But 2024 right around the corner, guys. Be safe out there. Be smart. We got 2 more trading days of the year. Close it strong, man. And I hope you can reflect on what you learned this year. I genuinely hope that some of the things that I've provided have helped you this year. If you got any questions, try to reach out. If you're not part of the group, it's going to be hard for me to respond. I try to get back to as many people as I can, but I hope you understand it. There's a lot of messages, and I will get back to you, but it might take some time. But be smart out there. Be safe. End the week strong. Hopefully a good year for you. And even if you weren't profitable this year, all that matters, in my opinion, the years that led up to my profitability, all that I cared about was did I feel more confident? Did I feel more confident in the trading that I did? Did I at least feel like I learned something? Did I feel like I at least took a step forward in my sort of education and knowledge and my overall confidence when I step into the market? So hopefully that helps, right? Hopefully you have found some type of confidence, some type of education out there. And if you haven't, man, I'll give you the honest truth. You're probably just not even trying hard enough. You should be able to start to understand this stuff. You definitely should be able to. And if you're not, then maybe you just got to give it a little bit more. Give it a little bit more if it's something you really want. So thank you guys again. Press that like button if you could before you head out. Thank you for the 1,000 likes. I appreciate you guys. It looks like we have, right, this is funny, right? We have less people, but we have the same amount of likes. That means we have a little bit more of people really here for Really here for a good cause. So shout out to you guys. Thank you again. This was a pivotal year for me. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. Thank you guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the last day, the last stream. Holy shit, the last stream of 2023. All right, let's blow it up tomorrow. Let's shut down. Let's make my internet break. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.